Welcome back, everybody, to live coverage of NRG's FNM. I'm your host, Andrew Donnelly, here with my co-host,
Matthew Robert Dow.
And we are covering round 3 here. We got a Green-Red Monsters versus an Abzan mid-range. Two NRG local players, Dan Cardenas and Bill Taylor, facing off. Matt, which deck do you like in this matchup?
I like Abzan.
You like the Abzan deck?
Yeah.
I'm more of a Green-Red Monsters guy myself.
Oh, we're talking about which deck we would like to play?
Which deck we'd like to win?
Oh, neither? Can they both lose?
No, they cannot both lose.
Dang.
You have to pick.
They could draw.
They could draw.
Let's hope that happens.
Which one would you play?
I would play neither,
Okay.
because I can't stand giant green creatures. It's literally the worst thing ever.
I agree with you. I'd like to see a blue control deck in the format. There is not one.
Yeah.
You and me, we talked about this last week. We both play blue-white heroic. So you can't find a deck in this matchup that you would get behind. Because I would get behind the Green-Red Monsters list.
I think I would get behind the Green-Red Monsters list because I just like it's more aggressive.
Okay.
I'm not a huge Abzan fan. I think Abzan is just... Abzan's a good deck.
Sure.
And, but I can't imagine myself playing either one of these decks.
Well, it looks like both players like their hands and have kicked it off here.
I don't know if Bill has all of his colors of mana. And he mulligans, so starting off with 2 Skylands is pretty good when you mulligan.
Sure.
But Dan's going to have a turn 2 play here.
I have to believe it's Carroted?
I think it's probably Carroted. I don't think he's playing Heir of the Wilds.
I do not think Heir of the Wild sees playing this deck.
So, yeah, Carroted's good. I think Dan is playing the list that top forward the SCG Open.
Yes.
Standard Open.
I know he's playing the list that won NRG's 5K.
Oh, nice.
That is the list that he is playing, which is a strong list. We've got a Courser.
Here's a great card for Bill to undo this mulligan. Courser, but we're gonna have
Courser on Courser.
Dan saw his bottom card, but whatever. It's regular REL. Slap on the wrist.
Slap on. We're not gonna punish him for it.
But Dan has the advantage of. I guess he's not going to play his land off the top of his deck for some reason.
Awkward. A little strange.
Yeah. Dan maybe a little camera shy here, playing poorly on camera.
I believe this is both Bill and Dan's first time being in a feature match. So Bill's going to get ticked up one.
So Bill does not have a land on top of his deck. We know he has a Hero's Downfall and a Wingmate Rock and an Elspeth in hand. Elspeth is pretty good, I feel, against this Green-Red Monsters deck. Especially when our opponent is not playing lands off the top of their deck.
Very true. Very true. Well, I guess this kind of gives him...
No, there's no reason not to play a land off the top of our deck.
Well, unless...
No.
You still
No, I still don't want to gain 2 life.
He did miss his land drop. Yeah, that it was a little strange. He's checking the scry now, wants to flip, sees a Rabble Master. Not bad.
But yeah, missing our land drops pretty bad for us.
Yeah,
so Bill's going to draw a Sylvan Carroted and has...
Looks like a Siege Rhino on top?
Dr. Siege Rhinoceros on top of our deck.
Dr. Siege Rhinoceros here.
And we know Bill has a Downfall and Elspeth in hand. So, mid-range, always fun to watch as no one does anything. Bill's going to gain a life.
Yep. Goes up.
I think... No, so I wonder... Bill probably wants a trigger raid here, but I don't think he's safe to attack his Courser into double Coursers.
That seems like not opportune. It looks like he's setting up Downfall mana.
He's gonna leave Hero's Downfall up and play a Carroted, which is a good play.
No, it's interesting.
Dan really needs to hit a land drop here off the top of his deck.
That's a Carroted.
He does not. So.
Wonder what he's looking for in his hand right now. I can't quite see. Looks like he's setting up mana to drop the Rabble Master.
If he has a Plukernos, yeah, he's
There's
just
a
going to use
Poly
his mana efficiently. He's going to get Elspeth or Siege Rhino out here, depending.
That looks like an Anafenza on top.
Yeah, I think Bill's just going to play Elspeth. I just play Elspeth here. No fear. Play Elspeth, make some tokens, and you can go. Have fun. Hopefully you have a Crater's Claw. Crater's Claw is pretty good here, actually.
Crater's Claw is strong here. Unfortunately, I don't think Dan's deck runs that main board.
I think he does.
Really?
Yeah. I played him yesterday, and I think he
had a main board?
He had him. So maybe hopefully Dan can find a land on top.
There's the land. So check the scry.
He remembers what Corsair of Crewfix does.
Gaining 2.
Play a land off the top of his deck.
Sees a Storm Breath.
Another good card against Elspeth.
Decides to ship it. Finds another land.
So that's odd. Maybe he doesn't keep the Storm Breath because he knows he has Downfall. I don't know. Storm Breath is another good card against Elspeth.
That is, yeah, it's a very good card.
So I feel like to stay in this game here, Dan is gonna have to take care of this Elspeth as soon as he possibly can.
So what can he do here? Monstrous the Pelucranos.
He can only Monstrous the Pelucranos for one.
This is a dork here, correct?
Correct. So he only has 4 mana. So he can only Monstrous for 1.
What's he see? He's got the
Rabblemaster, which once again not very good against Elspeth. And he's going to suicide his Goblin into a Courser of Confix. Yeah. So Dan is in trouble here. I don't know why he would ship that.
It could be. I wonder if he's trying to build a board state to a Xenagos, which I know is a really powerful card for this deck. As I saw at the 5K, by creating tokens, by running out of board, creating a large board, playing a Xenagos, using the mana. If the Pelucranos isn't dealt with,
okay, sure.
You dump it into the Monstrous.
It seems bad, like a bad line when we know our opponent has Hero's Downfall.
Correct.
Maybe he has main deck like Barrage of Boulders to falter his opponent.
Possibly, yeah.
Get in there, baby.
I doubt it, but I know that was a line of play.
Barrage of Boulders would be sweet right here. So Bill, for some reason, swinging a token.
Awkward.
Maybe bluffing Abzan Charm?
Oh, probably wants to trigger the raid.
Oh, trigger the raid. Thank you,
yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
So here he comes. Doesn't gain life now, right? Just produces the token, gains life when it attacks.
Yeah.
Boy.
So Dan in between a rock and a hard place here.
What would be a good out for Dan is, I mean, I feel like Crater's Claw's not worth it right now.
No, you gotta kill Elspeth.
Gains 2. So then you're still looking for the Crater's Claws?
I think so. Dan's not in a very good place here, but I still think you need a Crater's Claws or some way to kill Elspeth.
Sure.
Just because in 2 turns she's gonna.
He has a Storm Breath in hand.
He's gonna kill. Yeah, so I think we have to play. We just gotta deal with Elspeth. 2 turns and she's gonna ultimate, and we're just gonna lose.
That is true.
So, I think our line is to play Storm Breath.
You play the Storm Breath, you swing.
It's gonna get downfalled.
Yep. No, he's tapped out.
Well, it's gonna get downfalled next turn. Bill has 1 on top of his deck, 1 in his hand, but we got to stop Elspeth.
Boy. I had talked to Dan earlier, and maybe you saw when you played against him. I know after building this deck, he's a huge fan of Genesis Hydra.
It's kind of sweet.
Loves the Genesis Hydra. But I don't know if he plays that now and tries to hit a Xenagos. I feel like that's not the best line. I feel like your Storm Breath Dragon play is the best here.
Maybe he's just got to... Yeah, I think we got to play Storm Breath and try to handle Elspeth. Which is... No, I guess he's going to go with the Xenagos, the Genesis Hydra.
Genesis Hydra for 1, 2, 3, 4.
So maybe he is trying to hit
Xenagos. Not optimal.
Yeah, I guess so. If you hit Xenagos, you can then plus the Xenagos and then play the Stormbreath Dragon anyways. And he's in such a bad position that he just needs to try to get lucky.
Yeah. I feel like
spin the wheel.
That is not. You definitely don't put the other Pelucranos out.
Instead, we can only cast the Elvish Mystic. So Bill 2 turns away from ultimating that Elspeth, but we know Dan has the Stormbreath Dragon in hand.
There goes the Rabblemaster token into the Courser again.
But Bill going to probably... Well, he's going to attack in the air, I imagine. I don't think he's going to suicide his tokens. I would just leave those back...
as blockers.
Yeah, as blockers.
Yeah. That definitely seems...
But if we can leave Hero's Downfall up...
Bill goes up.
Maybe we can... No, yeah, just leave them back as blockers. I don't think the life isn't relevant.
If you're Bill, you take the safe route.
Yeah,
you ultimate Elspeth.
Well, yeah, in 2 turns we can ultimate Elspeth.
Sure.
So after this turn, we're just going to kill Dan with our 1,000,000 flyers. So Dan really needs... Barrage of Boulders would be really good right now. I'm telling you, man. If he could get Barrage of Boulders...
That is true. Barrage of Boulders would be very good
Super
right now.
good.
So we've learned tonight Barrage of Boulders and Feed the Clans.
No, Feed the Clan's still terrible. Barrage of Boulders really good here. Kills all the tokens.
Barrage of Boulders.
Falters all the guys. Kill Elspeth. Attack you for 1,000,000. Now we're doing it.
Correct. So Barrage of Boulders is the sideboard card we're looking for. Dan attacked in the air for 6.
Sideboard, main board, baby.
So you're main boarding Barrage of Boulders in this situation.
Yeah, totally. Dan has to play Stormbrush Egg in here. Has to. Or maybe he has another Genocider to try to roll the dice again. Spin the wheel.
It's constantly happening. I just want that we're being asked, is it happening? It's happening pretty much right now. This is about as happening as you can get in Standard right now. This type of board state.
No, this is vomit-inducing. This is a board state that I just can't handle.
From a control player
standpoint, I feel like we're playing EDH right now.
There are a lot of tokens on board, so yes, it is happening. The amount of tokens.
So yeah, I think we have to attack Elspeth. We have to get Elspeth off of 7. But we know Bill has 2 Heroes Downfalls in hand, so.
But you know what?
I don't know.
You know what would be a good card here that we haven't seen? Well, Barrage of Boulders would be good. Nylea would also be a strong, semi-feasible play here. I feel like Nylea is also a good play.
Yeah.
I mean,
give our guys trample.
I hate to bring up these memories for you, but if you remember Mono Green Devotion,
I don't.
Dislike for that deck. I know you blocked it out, but
but still the problem is Bill has 2 Heroes Downfalls in hands, and I don't know if he can cast them. I know he can cast one.
He can cast one. He set up his mana on the left side to cast a Heroes Downfall.
I don't know if he has the lands on the right side there.
He does have access to Kiradid, so if he's got Kiradid, something.
Yeah, if he has one more black land, I know he has a Sandstep Citadel and Caves of Koilos.
Okay, so his left side mana is set up to cast the Hero's Downfall. Dan doing some early combat math here, trying to figure out how to get by these tokens.
Yeah, I think maybe Dan has to kind of just attack to maybe clear some up for when Bill does ultimate. Maybe he won't take as much damage. I don't know. We're just in a really bad position. Now it'd be sweet if Dan could cast 2 Stormbreath Dragons this turn.
There's one. That's pretty good. I don't think there's
another Rattlemancer.
Okay. Now he's making 2 tokens. Oh, here's the Hero's Downfall on the Stormbreath.
All right.
Here come the 2 tokens going into combat.
So now do we just attack our creatures in to get him to chump block so he
loses board state?
So he loses some tokens here.
Well, here they come.
I think that's the plan.
Boy. So he sends everything at Elspeth.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. So if there is 5 guys attacking, we can block for those 5 and then attack Dan. Yeah, I just chump and then we can attack him back for 12.
A lot. The swing back is a lot here. I mean, Dan is essentially trying to remove.
Dan is dead if he just chumps with. If Bill blocks, bounces a Courser with the Courser, and then puts his 4 of his soldiers, but Bill neglects to do that.
Elspeth just died.
Instead, lets his Elspeth die.
Interesting.
Which is pretty good for.
Dan kind of dodged a bullet with that.
Yeah.
With the unless there's.
Yeah, because I think so. It gives +2/+2 in flying, right? So then we have 4 soldiers, a Courser, 2 Wingmate Rocks. So that's 12 from the soldiers.
Correct.
Then so that we just kill him.
He is dead. He is dead on the backswing.
Yeah. So don't particularly understand that.
Doing some calculation on life gain, I'm assuming?
Could have kept another soldier, too. We could have just thrown a Caryatid we don't need. And we had Abzan Charm, too. Man.
I can't imagine that was the correct line.
That was definitely not the right line. But we'll see if Bill can overcome his Mega Punt.
There'd be no reason to let your Elspeth die to just play another Elspeth, correct? Because your other one is already so close to ultimate.
No, you needed to chump block there.
Seems really strange. I can't imagine. Okay, so we're going to exile the Plukernos.
Yeah.
Poly K is gone.
Bill is Bears punter Patrick O'Donnell in this game. Mega punt.
Just, you know what? The Bears probably not a good subject right now. I have to imagine it's.
So Abjam Charm's going to exile the 5/5 Polukranos.
Now what?
Now imagine Bill is just going to attack with his Wingmate Rocks again here, and then he can set up next turn his couple of his soldiers, so he can double block both